So, I wanted to spend a few minutes talking about how we thought the year went with the Resonance Innovation Fellowship. And I wanted you to join me because I'm not good at monologuing. And mostly because you have the outsider perspective. 50,000 foot view, uh, how do you think it went?
I thought it went rather well. Well, I actually like the way that you organized the program
Hmm.
to initially get the students to start thinking about things on their own and come up with their own ideas. Because that gives them a level of commitment that they can carry through the entire project. During the project execution, they segregated it into a couple of different groups to focus and specialize. And that worked out pretty well too. Each of the groups independently learned quite a bit about what they were doing along the way.
Yeah, absolutely, I would agree with that. We just reviewed the tech team's, for lack of a better word, process and achievements for the year, and it was actually rather impressive.
Normally, if you're joining a company, the process will be in place, but here you had to figure it out basically from scratch.
When we showed up in November to our meeting, it turns out that Kason and Ethan had both been using Git right along with GitHub. We use GitHub as the repository for our code. I actually felt good and bad at the same time. I felt bad because personally I should have had better implementation, but I felt really good because the students did it without me. They didn't need my help and they didn't ask my permission. They just implemented better.
That's what you want from a program like
That's
this.
exactly what we want from a program like this. I would have to say that just as a group, we appreciated the input that you gave. And I was impressed by every single one of the students and the work that they put in. The face-to-face meetings that we had were stellar. Their insights were very cogent. And it was actually from the Murphy face-to-face that the project arose. Vanity sizing was primarily an idea that came about because Julia said some things in our face-to-face that I had not thought of before. I went back and ruminated about it a little bit that evening and came back and presented it as a possible topic to the group. And what I noticed was they had lots of other ideas they were still interested in. So the idea sat on the back shelf for quite a while, but every single one of the ladies, they all thought that was a very important idea to address. So is there anything specific you would like to tell the group about the future, about this experience and about how it prepares them?
Mostly it's a really good chance to fail without having any catastrophe attached, which is how learning works. So they didn't complete the app, but they struggled along the way with all the exact same things that you struggle with when you're learning something new.
So what's the value of that?
Well, the value of that is that if you need these skills later, you have some development on them already.
So given the idea and the effort that they put in, how should they feel about this year? What do you think?
I think they should feel great. They don't have a Kickstarter, they're not making $1 million, but it turns out none of that matters. They should look back on the last year and recognize that this year, that over the past year, they learned an incredible amount. Much quicker and much more than they would in an ordinary public school curriculum, because they were pushed further. So in a regular school program, students might get some collaboration in the very, very beginning, but like after the first course, it very quickly is independent work. It turns out on the job that's not the case
Yeah, I was
at
gonna ask
all.
you
It
that.
doesn't replicate the real world environment.
And the nice thing about having a collaborative coding environment is you can go try it.
Yeah.
And you can create a branch, and if branch A works better than branch B, you can demonstrate it. Let's take a minute and just talk specifically to the group about how we felt about the year.
Well, to start, the year was too short.
I'm really proud of the design team for the effort that you guys put in to think through how the product should present to the customer, and to think through how to put together videos for presenting the idea on a Kickstarter platform. You guys talked over a lot of really valuable perspectives, and we tried to implement as much as we could into the code.
I was really impressed with their ability to create videos, actually. I thought that was outstanding. I was also impressed that they were able to collect such good information just by interviewing random people.
So how about the tech team?
The biggest thing about coding is that it's sometimes monotonous and tedious. But at the end of that journey is a little bit of exhilaration when you get your problem solved. So if they can keep doing that, then they can do really well. I guess in closing, I want to say that I am very impressed that you are able to put up with the monotony and frustration that is programming. Because it doesn't seem like a natural fun thing, and from the outside perspective, it must be incredibly boring. But there's a lot going on inside your head that makes it fun.
Yeah, no, I would agree.
So I'm impressed that you guys are just able to put in that amount of effort.
Yeah, I would second that. So 2 thumbs up from Eric and I. You guys did a great job this year.